life operates according to a fundamental, impartial principle, a universal force that has been called by many names throughout history: the life principle, divine presence, source energy, or simply the flow of existence. This force is not bound by human constructs like favoritism, judgment, or bias. It flows through every individual, regardless of background, belief system, or circumstance, bringing with it the potential for harmony, peace, joy, beauty, and abundance. This flow represents the will of life itself, an innate drive toward growth, creativity, and goodness. Its purpose is to express positivity and wholeness through all living beings. When we align ourselves with this natural current, we experience synchronicity, inspiration, and fulfillment. However, when we resist or block this flow, whether consciously or unconsciously, we create emotional congestion. This resistance disrupts our connection to the life principle, leading to feelings of disconnection, dissatisfaction, and inner turmoil. These mental blockages do not remain abstract. They embed themselves in our subconscious mind, shaping how we perceive and interact with the world. Over time, these patterns can manifest as physical ailments, strained relationships, financial struggles, or a pervasive sense of unhappiness. Yet, it's important to understand that such difficulties are not punishments from the life principle or signs of abandonment by a higher power. They are merely reflections of our internal state, the result of resisting the natural flow of life. For centuries, humanity has grappled with questions about suffering and hardship. Why do bad things happen? Is there some grand design behind pain and loss? While these questions are deeply personal and often complex, one truth remains clear. The life principle does not cause suffering. Suffering arises when we disconnect from the guiding force within us, allowing fear, doubt, anger, and resentment to take root. These destructive thought patterns distort our perception of reality and cloud our ability to see the inherent goodness that underlies all of life. Blaming external forces, be it God, fate, society, or even other people, for our challenges only perpetuates a cycle of negativity. By projecting responsibility outward, we relinquish our power to change our circumstances. The uncomfortable yet liberating truth is this: much of what we experience in life stems from our own thoughts, beliefs, and reactions. Taking ownership of this fact is not meant to induce guilt, but rather to empower us. When we recognize that we hold the keys to our own transformation, we step into a position of agency and accountability. The journey toward healing begins with forgiveness, a profound act of releasing the past and embracing compassion. Forgiveness is not about excusing harmful actions or denying pain. It's about freeing ourselves from the weight of bitterness and blame. Holding on to resentment, whether directed at others, ourselves, or even perceived divine forces, only reinforces the very patterns that keep us stuck. To forgive is to acknowledge that everyone, including ourselves, is doing the best they can with the awareness and resources available to them at any given moment. Forgiveness must start within. Before we can extend grace to others, we must first offer it to ourselves. Many of us carry deep-seated guilt or shame over mistakes we've made or choices we regret. But the life principle does not judge us harshly. It sees us as inherently worthy and capable of growth. When we learn to view ourselves through this lens of unconditional love and acceptance, we begin to dissolve the barriers that have kept us from experiencing true peace. As we release condemnation and negative beliefs, we open ourselves to a new way of being. Instead of seeing life as something to endure or overcome, we start to perceive it as a sacred opportunity for growth and self-expression. We shift from a mindset of scarcity, there isn't enough, to one of abundance. All that is, I need, is already here. This change in perspective transforms our subconscious mind, which serves as the fertile soil from which our experiences grow. A loving and forgiving attitude becomes the foundation upon which we build a life filled with meaning, purpose, and joy. When we trust that a benevolent force supports and guides us, this belief permeates every aspect of our existence. It becomes a source of strength during challenging times and a wellspring of inspiration during moments of creativity. Trusting the life principle doesn't mean denying the presence of difficulties. It means knowing that even in the midst of struggle, there is always an underlying current of possibility. Every challenge carries within it the seed of growth. Every ending paves the way for a new beginning. To live in alignment with the life principle is to embrace life fully, with all its highs and lows, triumphs and setbacks. It is to let go of the need to control outcomes and instead surrender to the wisdom of the present moment. As we release resistance and allow life to flow through us freely, we tap into an infinite reservoir of blessings. Creativity blossoms, relationships deepen, and opportunities arise that once seemed impossible. This journey of awakening is both deeply personal and universally shared. Each of us is invited to participate in the unfolding of life's grand design, contributing our unique gifts and perspectives to the collective whole. And while the path may sometimes feel uncertain or daunting, we are never alone. The life principle is ever present, patiently waiting for us to remember who we truly are. Expressions of divine love, co-creators of a beautiful and abundant universe. The end, the choice is ours, to resist or to flow, to blame or to heal, to close off or to open up. By choosing forgiveness, love, and trust, we unlock the door to limitless possibility. We discover that life is not something happening to us. It is happening through us. And in that realization lies the greatest freedom of all.